Welcome, and welcome back to a new video on EdDevelop. Every year, artificial intelligence changes the world, and more innovations are born that revolutionize our lives. In this video, we'll show you 17 innovations that will happen by 2025. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to our channel. Number 1. Optimized production thanks to intelligent technologies. Anna Katrina Shedletsky, CEO and founder of Instrumental, denounces a present in which we still rely on poorly managed supply chains. As a consequence, today we accuse great waste of resources, time, energy, and materials. But things are starting to change, partly due to, or thanks to, the COVID-19 pandemic. Indeed, industries will rapidly adopt new cloud-based technologies to aggregate, intelligently process, and present product and process data in a contextual way from production to supply. We will thus live immersed in an omnipresent flow of data on which and through which sophisticated artificial intelligence work. This will optimize production outputs and the quality of results, reducing overall waste by up to 50%. And that means better products, made faster and at lower cost, for us and for the environment. Number 2. A far-reaching energy transformation. In 2025, the carbon footprint will be considered socially completely unacceptable, as driving while drunk is today. We can predict that by 2025, the global population will have understood the need to address the threats to our present and future way of life. The newborn awareness will put pressure on government policies demanding widespread change, and consequently, it will become the practice to analyze global carbon footprints. Hence, efforts will be made to implement new technologies rapidly to achieve net zero, i.e., the elimination of emissions. In this sense, we will witness a revolutionary energy transformation, which will also include the development of a carbon management industry that captures, uses, and ultimately eliminates it. For these reasons, Steve Oldham, CEO of Carbon Engineering, argues that a wave of innovation comparable to the industrial and digital revolutions of the past will be unleashed. Number 3. A new era of computing. Quantum technologies. According to Thomas Mons, CEO of Alpine Quantum Technologies, by 2025 we could use the first quantum devices capable of tackling and solving concrete problems. In particular, these new technologies will be able to help us in the simulation of complex chemical reactions through which to build new drug development processes. Thus, we could also produce materials with exactly the desired qualities. For example, better catalysts for the automotive industry that can fight climate change by reducing emissions. Quantum chemistry calculations will therefore be decisive, and quantum computers in general, thanks to which we could overcome today's development methodologies based on trial and error. These iterative processes in fact involve great waste and are obviously very expensive. Number 4. Change of health paradigm towards prevention through diet. In 5 years, health systems will devote greater attention to prevention, and therefore to the development of nutrition science. According to Jim Flatt, co-founder and CEO of Brightseed, new diets rich in vegetables and nutrients will quickly spread. In fact, thanks to the ability of AI in systems biology, we will be able to better understand the role of phytonutrients and functional outputs. This change will meet the needs of consumers who, especially after the pandemic, have become more aware of the importance of their health. Thus, the food industry will offer a wider range of products capable of supporting optimal health conditions. Number 5. 5G will improve the global economy and save lives. Maha Akor, founder and CEO of MetaWave, says that we have experienced strong development in the logistics sector mainly due to requests for immediate shipments. However, the situation would have been better addressed if we had 5G technologies available. Indeed, with 5G networks tied directly to autonomous bots, goods would be delivered within hours, and safely. Compared to previous devices, 5G guarantees higher transmission speeds, lower latency times, the ability to support multiple connections at the same time, and the possibility of dedicating portions of the network to specific services. For these and other reasons, experts argue that 5G is the tool through which to implement telemedicine, telesurgery, and first aid services. Furthermore, by ensuring greater connection reliability, it would solve the problems encountered with smart working, such as poor network quality. Since private 5G networks have very high potential, more and more investments will be made in smart factories, real-time monitoring, and intensive edge computing services, according to Accor. Ultimately, we can argue that 5G will open up markets that are now only imaginable and others that remain unknown to date. Number 6. Cancer will be less scary thanks to new diagnostic technologies. In the future, we will learn to overcome cancer by managing it as a normal chronic condition, thanks to a series of innovations that will also revolutionize the diagnostic sector, such as faster and more proactive screening. In addition, we will have new genome sequencing and liquid biopsy technologies. In this way, the tests will be simpler, more precise, and less expensive, so more accessible. In fact, diagnosing in time means not only saving lives, but also reducing the financial and emotional burdens that delays in tests entail. In parallel, the treatment will also evolve thanks to advances in gene editing and immunotherapy, which involves fewer side effects. Ultimately, even according to Sizhen Wang, CEO of Genetron Health, we can begin to be less afraid of cancer. Number 7. Retail and robotics. Jose Aguirre, CEO of Takeoff Technologies, notes that robotics has transformed many industries without impacting certain businesses such as food retailing. However, today a new technology called micro-fulfillment has been invented, which consists in the application of robotics at a hyper-local level. Thanks to micro-fulfillment technologies, retailers will work in a condition of greater productivity, which is also advantageous for online business, which actually does not exist today. In addition, shoppers have access to greater product availability and a better experience, thanks to the reduction of costs and time to purchase. Number 8. Physical and virtual spaces will merge more and more. The pandemic has illuminated many aspects of our daily lives that we previously took for granted. Among these, the importance of technology to facilitate communication, as well as its role in the establishment and maintenance of relationships, above all emotional and working. We can reasonably expect further developments, and it is not difficult to imagine that we will have functional artificial intelligences to get closer to each other. The separation between the virtual and the physical will become increasingly blurred compared to today, where the boundaries between the two worlds are already decidedly blurred. According to Tukche Balut, CEO of Streetbees, we will see changes in global event management that will deliver not just live streaming, but fully digitized experiences. It's not that simple, however. One of the most important hurdles to overcome is that of data management. Privacy must be treated as a priority issue. Otherwise, consumers' trust will be lost. Number 9. Technologies that put individuals at the center of healthcare. By 2025, the dimensions of culture, information technology, and health will be increasingly interconnected. Indeed, engineering, biology, machine learning, and the sharing economy will build a framework that will decentralize the healthcare process by focusing in on the individual rather than on the institutions. According to Sherlock Biosciences CEO Raul Danda, the transition to more inclusive healthcare will be helped by advances in the field of AI. Real-time biological data will be provided by engineering biology by administering diagnostic tests to individuals in every corner of the planet and at low cost. The result? Only the most severe cases will need specific care because morbidity, mortality, and costs will decrease. In fact, fewer infected people will leave their homes, significantly altering the epidemiology of diseases and relieving the health systems of excessive pressure. Therefore, by shifting the focus from the institution to the individual, costs will be cut and the quality of assistance will be increased, which will be more efficient. Thus, the correlations between health, socioeconomic status, and quality of life will begin to loosen. From daily care to pandemics, these new converging technologies will change economic and social balances by improving the human condition globally. Number 10. The future of construction. Mayrav Oren, CEO and co-founder of Versatile, predicts that construction will result in a synchronized system of technologies that will ensure production at scale and greater control. In this sense, the revolution in the sector will ensure safer, faster, and more convenient ways to build homes and offices, to manage cities, so that they thrive properly. This process has already started thanks to the Internet of Things and AI, through which we can collect rich data sets. In fact, in the industrial sector, the use of data is central because it allows operators to make more responsible decisions without relying exclusively on experience and instinct, but rather, it also helps to learn and progress. In particular, the data-oriented approach allows a proactive rather than reactive attitude, increasing the precision in planning and execution. In fact, not only can operators learn more about the environment to adapt and not submit to it, but they also enjoy the support of repeatable processes that are easier to control, automate, and teach. Number 11. Technologies that remove CO2 on a global scale against climate collapse. The threat of climate collapse exerts strong pressure on individuals and institutions, favoring the development of technologies with negative emissions, functional for the removal of carbon dioxide. The processes of reducing large quantities of CO2 will be able to limit global warming to 1.5 degrees, also supported by the population who will do everything possible to reduce their impact on the atmosphere. This greater attention will favor the cost-cutting of the carbon dioxide management and removal processes, which will therefore be more accessible. Jan Wurzbacher, co-founder and co-CEO of Climeworks, suggests that we can believe in a future that is not only more sensitive to environmental issues, but also more responsible in resource management and carbon dioxide removal, so that the latter could become the main option for reducing impacts and indeed reversing climate change. The potential is there. Number 12. A new era of medicine. Brandon Suh, CEO of Lunit, rightly notes that medicine is always looking for a deeper understanding of human biology to improve decision-making. In this sense, the new diagnostic systems supported by intelligent technologies are the main tools that will help doctors create more reliable clinical pictures based on more complex and efficient data management. Number 13. Solve the economic gap. Atish Davda, co-founder and CEO of Equity Zen, helps us reflect on socioeconomic inequality. Access to growth opportunities is problematic and unequal. Financial advisors are an essential element in wealth management processes. So if a private individual wants to grow his property, he should rely on their skills, which are very expensive. In this way, a certain part of the population is excluded a priori from the country's economic life. Thus, the rich get richer and the poor cannot free themselves from their own defective condition. However, developments in artificial intelligence have the potential to ensure that the entire population has an equal chance to participate in the creation of global wealth. In fact, AI improves quickly by creating asset management strategies accessible not only to specialists, but also to the masses, favoring their inclusion. Just like you don't need to know how near-field communication works to use Apple Pay, tens of millions of people won't need to know modern wallet management theories to be able to increase their income. Number 14. Digital twins technology. By 2025, there will be a tipping point in the energy transition. In fact, as Thomas Laurent, CEO of Excelsos, argues, the cost of renewable energy will be able to compete directly with that of fossil fuels, to the point of being lower and therefore more advantageous. In particular, we will be able to enjoy an increase in offshore wind capacity, i.e., electricity generated by the construction of wind farms on bodies of water thanks to rampant digitalization. The rapid development of digital twins, virtual replicas of physical devices, will underpin a dramatic transformation of the energy sector. Machine learning that combines physics-based models with big data will imply less complex designs, lower operating costs, and, last but not least, clean and accessible energy for all. But that's not all, because real-time monitoring and preventative maintenance capability will result in more secure and resilient infrastructure. Everything will be protected by your digital twin. Number 15. In 2025, we will know about the hidden microbiomes on surfaces. Every surface on Earth hides information essential to avoiding the crises implied by pandemics, both now and in the future. Jessica Green, co-founder and CEO of Phylogen, explains that the artificial environment where humans spend 90% of their lives is inhabited by natural microbiomes composed of bacterial, fungal, and viral ecosystems. Technology that accelerates our ability to sample, digitize, and interpret microbiome data will transform how we understand the spread of pathogens. Technically, the revolution of the dynamics that regulate the microbiome will identify the genetic signatures useful to indicate when and where we disseminate pathogens, the surfaces and environments where transmission occurs more easily, and the ways in which these risks change also influenced by the activity of humans. Although we are still at the beginning, these new discoveries will revolutionize the techniques of planning, management, and cleaning of public spaces, as well as the development of economic activity while protecting public health. Number 16. Machine learning and AI accelerate decarbonization in high-carbon industries. Over the next 5 years, high-carbon industries will use machine learning and AI technology to drastically reduce their carbon footprint. Traditionally, industries such as manufacturing, oil and gas implement decarbonization efforts very slowly, pandering to productivity and profitability interests rather than other factors. However, climate change, as well as regulatory pressure and market volatility, are pushing these industries to innovate. Oil, gas, and industrial manufacturing organizations today are under increased pressure from regulators to significantly reduce CO2 emissions within the next few years. Technological innovations have greatly supported decarbonization efforts in the construction and transportation sectors, and heavy industries will follow a similar path. In fact, says David King, CEO of Foghorn Systems, digital transformation will allow the most involved sectors to use advanced technologies such as AI and machine learning, manipulating reliable data generated in real time by billions of connected devices. Thus, we will proactively reduce harmful emissions and thus the carbon footprint. Number 17. By 2025, privacy will be a priority issue. Ellison Ann Williams, founder and CEO of Invail, reminds us that despite improvements in the regulatory industry in recent years, we are still very new to privacy from both a regulatory and consumer perspective. Within 5 years, data privacy and security will have reached commodity status, and consumers' ability to protect and control sensitive data assets will be the rule rather than the exception. The growth of awareness and understanding will go hand in hand with the advancement in privacy-enhancing technologies, PETs. By 2025, PETs as a technology category will go mainstream, meaning they will function as pillars of corporate privacy and security strategies, rather than being adjuncts introduced to meet certain minimum compliance requirements. In parallel, if globally we lack unified privacy regulations, companies will embrace approaches that are flexible to regional needs and consumer expectations. These efforts will be led by cross-functional teams representing data, privacy, and security interests within an organization. That's it for today. Comment below an innovation you can't wait to see. Thanks for watching the video. See you next time.